Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranat Klesha Nashaye Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiya Mamritat. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to today's Yog Vashistha Satsang. My sincere apologies for about 20 minutes of delay today. I'm so sorry. I feel I took a little rest and I overslept today because we've been going on very low energy and we have been doing satsangas non-stop for the last I think 5 days. First for Krishna Janamashtami in the temple, and then we concluded yesterday here again, and before that we were doing Bhagavad Gita. So too much of a good thing but I feel it doesn't happen very often. I don't like ever being late, but thank you for still sticking around. I was thinking of sending a note to everybody that I'll start a little late, but so happy to see all of you here, patiently waiting. Another beautiful quality of spirituality is indeed patience and also admitting our faults. So hopefully this will not be repeated, but in any case, here we are, all of us together. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to our worshipful Guruji, Swami JyotirmayAnanda Maharaj, to all sages and saints, all the scriptures, all the divine energies, and to the divinity in each one of you. हमारा दंडवत प्रणाम है उस ब्रह्मांडीय ईश्वरीय शक्ति को, हमारे परम पूज्य गुरुदेव स्वामी ज्योतिर्मयानंद जी महाराज को, सब साधु संतों को, ऋषियों मुनियों को, आप सब में विद्यमान परमेश्वर को कोटि कोटि pranam. So, day after day, every Friday we enjoy this nectar of Yoga Vashistha. On Sundays we do Bhagavad Gita. Again this Sunday we will be meeting you from the same Shiva Vishnu temple. And our sincere thanks to all of you who were very regular. Radha ji, Priya ji, Yogini ji, all of you who were connected during this auspicious Lord Krishna's birth time, and we all enjoyed it so much. It was a lot of fun. So may we continue to enjoy spirituality. Spirituality is the best thing that can happen to us. It's a spiritual high all the time without any side effects. So may we all become devotees of God, Krishna, whatever Ishta Devata we go after. They're all one, doesn't matter. So with that prayer, with that thought, let us start today's satsang. It gives me great joy to see this Sanatana Dharma Integral Yoga page that all of you are so lovingly participating in, that Yogini ji started, Priya ji and Radha ji, all of you, Kishore ji, you have made it something very beneficial. I think most people don't know the depth of the questions you are asking, and each of us also has to think deep So it's a beautiful, beautiful place where we can all share, grow. And I was discussing with Yogini ji, maybe we should capture all these questions and then have a booklet printed for everybody, because this knowledge is very rare. You don't find this practical knowledge that people from different cultures are struggling. There is so much confusion about Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, yoga, and rightfully so, because it is a very for an external person to come in, it's a whole mountain, whole ocean of information. So how to dissect it, how to understand, and how to benefit is a very beneficial thing. So thank you to all of you for being an integral part of integral yoga. You are the integral in it. Karma, bhakti, dhyana, jnana, all four. Action, emotion, reason, and will, all four are joined. They are not separated. Wisdom and devotion are not two separate things. When devotion increases, wisdom dawns. When wisdom dawns, devotion grows. And action, volunteering, all these things come automatically. So with this prayer, let us start Gurudev's. Thank Gurudev, Swami JyotirmayAnanda ji, who continues to do his Jnana Yagya, and we, like his little monkeys and the bears in Ramayana, continue to share this wisdom together, and one day at a time we enrich our souls and whoever else joins us. तो जो भी हमसे जुड़ता है उसका भी कल्याण होता है, हमारा तो होता ही है. तो आप सबको कोटि कोटि प्रणाम और धन्यवाद. So Swami Ji's message for today: blessed self adorations. Love of God lends luminosity to your life. तो भगवान का जब हम प्रेम करते हैं, प्रेम, love is a beautiful word if understood in the proper context. True love is about giving, not about receiving, not about I, me, I should get more, I should get. No, it's about giving yourself to others. Swami Satchidananda ji used to say, love is a one-way street. If you expect two ways to happen right there, then there is not love. It's a business transaction. I love you, so you give me something in return. That's not love. Love is when you give unconditionally, the other person also gives unconditionally. So the problem is sometimes we love somebody but they don't love you back. So therefore we get upset, frustrated. But understand, the law of divinity, the law of spirituality doesn't work like that. You may love this person, but somebody else may love you back, and you may not know. So it's a full of love prophecy. It does come back in abundance. The mistake we make is we want it from the same person. There is no same person. We are all one in this universe. Ultimately, there are no two separate people. It's all one Atma, one soul. But yet practically we have to live, so we have to do the best we can. But true love is called prem. We use this word very loosely. True love is one of giving. So feel that God is enshrined in the lotus of your heart, and your soul is enfolded by His boundless love. He is right within you. Whenever you try to love just a human being, the problem is that they have their own likes and dislikes, you have your own likes and dislikes. But when you love God, it is unconditional. And He is everywhere. He is in your enemy, He is on the street, He is within you, in your heart, in your actions, everywhere. So, that lotus of your heart is enfolded by God's boundless love. Boundless meaning Just like when you see the ocean, no end in sight. No end in sight. Your body may be small. Your heart within, inside, the biological heart may be very small. But within that, there is a space where God resides, and that space is like ether. It is greater than the sky. It's the same as the sky within you. So you don't have to, once you start enjoying that space, then there is no reason, no need to run here and there to find happiness. It is right within you. आप ही के अंदर वो शक्ति विद्यमान रहेगी और आपका बहुत बहुत कल्याण होगा. You will be benefited tremendously by that. So that is the true meaning of love. Remember, a one-way street and not necessarily coming back from the same source. Fight the battle of your life with a heroic spirit. This life is a battlefield. Arjuna, Krishna. So when Arjuna is ready to fight, all his energy, all his preparation, all his knowledge becomes shaky, away, almost not knowing what to do, trembling with fear and not wanting to fight. He has everything, but he has forgotten everything due to his fear of attachment. He was not afraid to die. Arjuna was not afraid to die. He was afraid to kill his so-called grandfather, his uncles, his teachers, etc. Because he was mistaking them for their bodies. He was looking at them as physical. And Lord Krishna had to guide him very slowly. In the battlefield, the war is about to start. And we also feel like that sometimes. We are in the battlefield and we as if lose courage. We don't know what to do. We give ourselves all kinds of excuses why we shouldn't do something. If we analyze it deeply, profoundly, you will see how true this statement is. But then, because of your spiritual roots, because of your nourishment, because of your tapasya, this is tapasya. I was late today, but you didn't give up. You said that's not normal. What happened, right? So things like this, once in a while, we all go through. And this is simple, but sometimes you go through more difficult things. Losing a job, losing a family member, or having high hopes from something and they disappoint you. All these things, watch it like you watch a movie. The minute you get attached, the problems will start. The cycle will continue. So, behold the victory of light over darkness. Yato dharmasya tato jaya. Wherever there is dharma or righteousness, ethical values in living, there will be victory. There must be victory. There is no doubt if there will be victory, there has to be victory. Every single time, whenever there is light, the darkness has to run away. There is no question about it, no doubt about it, no thinking needed here. But still, we are humans, so we need that level of faith. Who had such faith? In the Ramayana, Angada. You know Angada? Angad was one of the son of Bali. Rama had killed his father, and Sugriva's elder brother. Most of you must know Ramayana. So, at the time of war, Lord Rama said, one more chance is being given to Ravana, the demon king. One more, before we go, before we actually start killing people and we have this gory fight and whatnot, why, if he just gives me back my kidnapped wife Sita, I will go away and we will not fight, which is a sensible thing to do. Every good human being should try to resolve a problem in a simpler solution, with a simpler solution if possible. So they sent a messenger, उनको बोलते हैं दूत. So they sent Angad, because Hanuman had already gone. First they said, let's send Hanuman, let's send him. And then Jamvant, the bear, the wise guru bear of the army. Imagine monkeys and bears coming under God and doing such beautiful things, that we are studying Ramayana after thousands of years. And we are human beings, we are supposedly well read, intelligent, we can do better, don't you think? So, but it's the faith, that faith is what we are talking about. Behold that. So they said, no, Hanuman has already destroyed the Lanka once. If we send him again, Ravana may think they don't have any other strong person. So they told Hanumanji, you don't go, they will send Angad this time. Angada is, he was the leader of the monkey army, and he goes to Lanka, and they have a very beautiful exchange. One day we'll probably read that and do some satsang on that. I like Ramayana very much, and we are not currently doing it. So, but I do have mysticism of Ramayana in my YouTube channel, which you can listen as needed. But maybe we should start Ramayana at some point, because it is also rich, full of depth of meaning, of love and compassion, and how to lead a good human life, which Lord Rama did. But Angada reached there, and Ravana in the court, in the main court, and they had a long discussion. Ravana was full of ego, not wanting to give up his Rama's wife Sita, still wanted to fight, and they insulted Angada, and Angada, without fear, in enemy camp, basically ridiculed Ravana for his foolishness, for trying to even approach Rama. The victory will be Rama's. And he was laughing, Ravana, because he was looking at his kingdom, his opulence, his army, his golden city, and then he's looking at Rama, who doesn't even have shoes on his feet, and he's living in the woods, doesn't even have an army. What is the army? Monkeys and bears. So he's thinking, how can they ever win? And he thinks it's a joke. So he ridicules Angad, and Angad, without asking anybody, without asking Lord Rama, he made a decision right there due to his faith. He put his foot down on where he was standing, and he says, okay, here is my right foot. I have placed it. All your warriors, everybody, all of you generals, all of you so-called powerful people, you claim you can win. If any one of you, anyone can shake my foot, I will consider Rama defeated and we will go back. Can you think about that statement? What gave him that courage to make a statement like that? How did he do it? So, some divine energy at that time, without Rama's approval, power of faith. So, because he knew whatever we are doing is a leela, a divine sport, and whenever light will come, darkness has to run away. With that faith, he put his foot. It's a very entertaining video also, those of you who may have watched it. But then he puts his foot, and everybody, one after one, all the generals come and they try to shake it, shake his foot. And they're all embarrassed. Nobody can move it. उसको कोई नहीं हिला सका. That foot of Angad. Finally, Ravana gets up from his throne and he is now coming to do that, to shake him. And Angada voluntarily removes his foot and says, "Oh Ravana, don't touch my feet. Go touch Lord Rama's feet. He will forgive you, for he is the one who is going to kill you." And saying this, he came back victorious, flying, doing his duty, doing his due diligence, giving Ravana one more opportunity to change his mind. But here we are talking about the power of faith. When you have the faith, even in Christianity we say, don't we? If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed. How small is a mustard? Little. You can move mountains with it. Literally. Literally, Hanumanji moved mountains, picked up a mountain with that faith. With that faith only Angad did what he did. So just as the moon showers nectar on the earth by reflecting the light of the sun, moon does not have any light of its own. चंद्रमा का अपना प्रकाश बिल्कुल नहीं रहता है. So it comes from the light of the sun only, borrowed light. Yet that light is cooling, romantic light. Most songs, everything in India, a lot of pictures are made under the moon. Talking, enjoying, even the shimmering moon at night in the ocean, dazzling silver, but coming from the sun only. So it showers its nectar, and that is the nectar of divine love. The scorching heat of the sun becomes nectarine energy of the moon on the earth by nothing else but reflecting the light of the sun only. Much in the same way, all of you are reflecting that light. When we talk, speak, act, do things, we are simply the refractions of that divine light. So let your mind shower goodwill for all by reflecting the light of God. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. May all be happy, may all be disease free, may no one suffer, may all be enlightened. That prayer, all, is all inclusive. It doesn't say may only Indians be enlightened or only welcome glory to Sanatana Dharma. Everything is actually nothing else but Sanatana Dharma. Everything is the same, open-minded, open-ended. Every religion is welcome. Everybody fits into that criteria. So when we have an open mind, we have a goodwill, we see everybody as our family. The whole creation is my family. Where can you go? Ant is your family, distant family. A tree, a cat, a rat, a mouse, an elephant. Wherever you see, and oh, by the way, you yourself have been that. That is what the fundamental belief is in this divine cycle of life. We all continue to alternate different shapes, different forms, different species, and the cycle continues on and on and on till we terminate it. And this is why they say, being a human, बड़ भागी मानव तन पावा सब सुर ऋषि मुनि ग्रंथ ही गावा. We are so blessed to have this human body that even sages and saints and the scriptures, they all sing the glory of it. बड़ भागी पाई सत्संगा बिन प्रयास होई भवभंगा. And blessed are the souls who are attached to satsang. When you start loving satsang and it starts taking over your life, now God has pulled you into his magnetic zone. You now are part of his close family. He's giving you, but that doesn't mean everything will be just comfortable. Tests will come, but you will have the energy, you will have the strength and the wisdom. सब तरीके का कार्य होने लगेगा. May God shower His choicest blessings on you. With regards, Prem and Om, Swami JyotirmayAnanda. So as humans, we know all these things, yet we get shook up, we get sad, we get emotional, we forget all these teachings. For that reason, we need to constantly remind ourselves about our transience, about our journey in life, and what is the focus, what is that we have come to do on planet Earth. So when we think like that, things happen in a holistic way, in a natural way. So with this profound message, let us chant our Kirtan, and we will then move on to Yoga Vashistha. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Mam, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Raksha Mam, Sharavana Bhava, Sharavana Bhava, Sharavana Bhava, Pahi Mam, Kartikeya, 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 Raksha Mam, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Jaya Saraswati, Pahi Mam, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Shri Saraswati, Raksha Mam, Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hari Guru Ram, Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Shyam, Om Adi Guru Advait Guru Anand Guru Om, Chid Guru Chid Ghana Guru Chinmaya Guru Om, Jagat Guru Om Guru Sachitananda, Shankaracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Om. Hara 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya, Anjaneya 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 Pahi Mam, Hanumanta 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 Rakshamam. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Pahi Mam, Brahma Shakti, Vishnu Shakti, Shiva Shakti Rakshamam, Adi Shakti, Maha Shakti, Para Shakti Pahi Mam, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti Rakshamam, Gangarani, Gangarani, Gangarani Pahi Mam, Bhagirathi, Bhagirathi, Bhagirathi Rakshamam, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari, Hari Om, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. 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 So let us continue our journey on this beautiful scripture, Yoga Vashistha. And those of us who are enjoying the nectar, we will be starting from section 196 today. As you know, we are on the concluding stages known as Nirvana Prakarana. Nirvana means liberation. The whole scripture They say Yoga Vashistha is obsessed with liberation. And I hope each of us are obsessed with it. It should be in our thoughts, in our actions, in our minds, in our teachings. There is nothing else except liberation. Otherwise, human life wasted, another one, then another one, and who knows when we will get this opportunity again. So, like a good farmer that makes hay while the sun shines, he tills his land when it rains. So he uses both opportunities. He doesn't complain, always doing his duty in this human body. That's what we should try to do also. So Lord Rama is discussing his enlightenment experience, how he is feeling with his Guruji Vashistha Muni, his teacher. Another point I did want to say in the Sanatana Dharma, in the question that Priyaji had asked, I don't think anyone, any religion focuses on the Guru, the teacher,
In the
in
question that
such a profound way where we give them equal status, sometimes higher status than God. Many may consider it, if you are a raw aspirant, if you are new, you may consider it blasphemy. You may consider it wrong. You will not understand it because you simply haven't reached that state of para bhakti. So, when there is God in every atom, He is in the Guru as much as He is in you. But, like two logs of wood, when there is friction, fire can come out. Just like you strike a match and light comes. That is unique to Sanatana Dharma. That's one more point I wanted to make on that, because sometimes I don't get enough time to answer every little detail, but it's a beautiful place, a safe area you have created, all of you. May you continue to be blessed and may you guide others with those questions. So today we are discussing this section 196, and this experience of Lord Rama is the same as the experience of Lord Krishna, is the same as the experience of Nachiketa, is the same as the guidance of the Upanishads. Different, what do they say? The same old wine in new bottles. That's all it is. Only the form changes. We call it Bhagavatam, we call it Bhagavad Gita, we call it this. It gives us, but they are all full of wisdom. But the essence is the same. There are no 20 enlightenments out there. There is only one. There is only one infinity. The minute you have two infinities, what do? You you are in illusion. You cannot have two infinities, because otherwise you limit one, isn't it? My infinity is better than your infinity. Imagine that. So that is what it is. Ultimately, only one truth. Enjoy it in different ways, different tastes. Just like nourishment of any food you eat, the goal is to give energy to your body. But now we get focused on, I only want this, I only want that, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. That's fine. All those are choices. But eat you must. If you don't eat, then you will fall sick. So, this way, Lord Rama is sharing his enlightenment experience and his Guru is validating it. Section 196, the story of a woodcutter and his gem. So now we are talking about a story, and Yoga Vashistha is filled with stories within stories. Why that? Why stories and parables? Because you tend to remember these stories and parables more than dry, deep intellectual knowledge, isn't it? So when it's a story, even kids are interested. So then what happened? And in Sanatan Dharma and in India, we have many such stories and parables that we should read to our younger generation. If you're a grandfather, read it to your grandchild when they are young. Once they grow up, it's too late. If you're a father, do Aarti with the family and read a little Ramayana, like the post I had a few days ago. That bhakti, that daily commitment is what's needed. Not hours and hours, but 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Everybody can do that. Then what happens, these stories tend to sit with us. When you grow up, you even remember them then. Narada, Bhakta Prahlad, that's how he grew up. In the womb of his mother, Narada ji used to give him many stories of wisdom, of spirituality, but he was the son of a demon, Hiranyakashipu, and the Devatas had kidnapped and captured the demons. So the wife was staying in Naradji, took her in the ashram, and her life changed. Narad, this Bhakta Prahlad, was born as a result, who was such a pure devotee of Narayana. So in this way, different teachers, different guides, different scriptures, they all give us the same essence of what is our goal in human life, why are we here, what should we be doing, and etc. So here, this story Valmiki ji is relating. That's Remember, the story is being narrated by Sage Valmiki, but the guru of Lord Rama is Sage Vashistha, and they are all sitting in the palace of King Dashratha, Lord Rama's father. Lord Rama is a teenager. Believe it or not, a teenager, but with profound wisdom. Age is not measured by your physical body. Your spiritual age is measured by how mature, how old your Atma is. Atma, which we say is ageless. So, over many embodiments, souls come. Sometimes in a small body, there is a very wise soul. Sometimes gurus come as your own children. Krishna came from Devaki Mata, and Devhuti, she gave birth to Kapil Devji. All these are in the Bhagavatam. Those of you who like Bhagavatam, you will really enjoy these profound teachings. But here, Sage Valmiki is the author of Yog Vashistha. He is also the author of the initial Ramayana. So Sri Rama became silent, immersed in the bliss of Brahman. What happens when you enjoy? You are speechless. The nectar is so overflowing, no matter what word you use will not do justice, cannot do justice. So with that thought, he is enjoying the bliss. Anand aa raha hai. Then coming back to normal consciousness, he continued to question Sage Vashistha for the sake of aspirants who were not yet liberated. So if you have something, you want others to get it. Only then is it true bhakti. Only then is it true knowledge. So Sri Rama said, O sage, you are the dispeller of all doubts. Doubts cannot stay in your presence. Just as in winter the dark clouds disperse, even so the clouds of doubts and delusions have dispersed in me, leaving the firmament of my heart clear as the cloudless sky. And this is why questions are asked. This is why Lord Rama was asking all these different questions from his Guruji, Vashistha Muni. How to do this, how to do that. Sometimes they ask these questions to benefit others. They are doing a leela, they are doing a sport for our benefit. So there is, however, a small doubt in my mind. Lord Rama says, Brahman is beyond the waking dream and deep sleep states. Don't we talk about that? There are only three. The fourth state, which very few people can touch upon, is called the Turiya, beyond these three states. But otherwise, you are either awake, or you dream, or you have deep sleep. Therefore, it is inaccessible even with the help of Guru as well as scriptures, which belong to the waking state only. So Lord Rama is asking this question intentionally for deeper understanding for the sadhaks, that how, if everything is limited, then how with these tools of waking, because only in waking we do satsanga, we cannot do it while you're sleeping. So how does that work then? Please tell me whether the Guru and scriptures are the cause of the rising of knowledge, or if they are not so. This becomes like a trick question. There are three states, but in only one we can discuss this. So how does it work? How can we attain nirvana or liberation? So Sri Vashistha responded his Guruji, O Rama, the scriptures and Guru are not the cause of knowledge. The reasons for this is that the scriptures and the teachings of the Guru abound with words and their meanings. Isn't it? What do we do when we come together in satsanga? We take up a scripture and then we go deep into it. We try to understand the meanings and the words. What do the words mean? While the absolute self is beyond them, isn't it? The self doesn't need words. It is beyond all explanations. It is timeless, eternal, indivisible, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, and beyond all descriptions. So then, what should we do? Many people actually do ask these questions. So Lord Rama is asking it to answer all of those questions, every one of them that people who doubt bring up. So he says, in spite of this, the teachings enable an aspirant to attain self-realization, isn't it? So within you, you have two selves. One is your lower self, one is your higher self. One is your mind and senses, one is your intellect. One will take you to the path of liberation, the other will drag you to the path of hell. All within you only. The question is, how much do you value it? What do you want to do with it? And how do you evolve? So, this is why we need teachings. Otherwise, everybody, if they couldn't give you enlightenment, the scriptures wouldn't be written. Volumes upon volumes of scriptures. People have burnt midnight oil literally with very little resources. They have suffered and struggled to give us these things. So the teachings, these enable an aspirant to attain self-realization. Don't ever doubt that. Then he says, I will relate to you a story that will illustrate this point. So let us all enjoy that story together. Once upon a time, there lived some woodcutters who, owing to their extreme poverty, lived a life of misery. Obviously, when there is no money, when there is no main way of livelihood, or all you are doing is so much hard work, you cut a little wood. So life was difficult. In order to secure food for sustaining their lives, they decided to cut wood in a certain forest and earn livelihood by selling the wood. We have to live in this world. Everybody is doing something or the other based on their karma, their prior karma. They are reaping what they have sown in their prior births, and what you are sowing now, you will reap in the future. But the best thing to do is to take out the fructification process itself. But that doesn't happen instantly. All of you who are listening to these profound scriptures, this interest just didn't happen overnight. Ask yourself, every one of you has been searching, and you have been doing it in your prior lives also. So with that burning flame, we will get to that point. So They continue daily to go to the forest, cut wood, and carry it to the town for sale. How else will you sell it? In the wood, you have to make bundles, go to the city, put some price on it, and then people will haggle, then you sell them that. We are talking old style philosophy, old style markets at that time. The money they received for selling the wood was just enough for their day-to-day needs. You cannot have everything, so you have to then decide what is important. However, the forest they frequented was full of precious woods. It was all within that. In addition, there were hidden hoards of treasures consisting of gold, gems, and other precious stones under the trees. How are they to know? They are poor. All they have is a simple, even to buy the axe, they may have taken a mortgage or something. Who knows? So among the woodcutters, those who were exceedingly fortunate discovered the gold, gems, and precious stones. Obviously, when a little wood can give you enough to sustain yourself, imagine what gold and gems and all that will do. Some others found sandalwood trees, which are also expensive. It made them rich because all you do is sell a little sandalwood and get much money. There were still others who began to sell special flowers and fruits and were thus freed from their poverty. So they expanded their product line, not just cutting wood, but also picking the flowers, picking the fruits. We all need flowers and fruits to offer to God and also to eat and to decorate our homes and so on, funerals. So, but there were unfortunate ones, sadly, who continued to cut ordinary wood and they could not improve their condition. Same forest, same conditions, the question becomes of knowledge, isn't it? So different people struggling in different ways. In the course of time, it so happened that these woodcutters discovered Chintamani. In Chinta means a wish-yielding gem. Money is a gem. Whatever you think, you will get. And the gem bestowed upon them all they wanted. Thus they began to live like gods, because all of a sudden from this extreme poverty they had this extreme whatever you want you can get. So those who were so miserable before now became free of the afflictions of poverty. Poverty is very painful because without adequate survival, with just hunger, it's not a feeling we like. It's not what we enjoy. And spirituality also cannot fructify when we are in pain of hunger, etc. So even for saints, they also need a comfortable environment, a hut, a place to sleep, clothes to wear, food to eat. They don't need much. In order to survive, we actually don't need as much as we think we do. We need very little, but we have to be peaceful and holistic. That is why in India, wherever there are saints and sages, even today, they go to a cave and then nearby people, they adopt it. It's their blessing. They will make sure that they come and place a cup of milk or something to eat for the sage every day. Somebody, and they fight sometimes with each other. Let me do it today. Let me do it. That is the level of devotion and bhakti that resides. But because they realize they are God men, they are people who are connected with divinity. So they are adored in that manner. So moving on to section 197, the explanation of this parable. What does this parable mean? What are we talking about? Sri Rama asked, "O sage, please explain to me the meaning so that I may understand fully the implication of the story." Because the question he had asked was the three states, waking, dream and deep sleep, and that we can only share spiritual knowledge in the waking state. Sri Vashistha replied, O Rama, all human beings are the woodcutters, all of us, not just in this story, who suffer from poverty. And what is this poverty? Ignorance. That is our poverty. So you may be very affluent, you may be very materially rich, but if you have ignorance, you are living in poverty. Why? Because when we die, when we depart, we did not collect any spiritual wealth. And that is what Vashistha Muni is guiding Lord Rama. He says, ignorance is our biggest problem. The forest which provides livelihood to them is the world of Guru and scriptures. What was the question asked? Why do we need these gurus and scriptures? And I just talked about the significance of this whole concept of Guru is simply a teacher, a light, not a physical body, somebody who can share his experience with others. That is the Guru, and the scriptures are the tools with which that knowledge is imparted. You need a car to go somewhere. You may know how to drive, but if you don't have a car, what will you do? You are stuck. So you need something. That is the difference between, for sages and scriptures, they need both, and when they come together, that is Satsang. And when more than one people come together, one or more, that is two people, enough to have Satsang. One person, Swadhyay, Swa-adhyay, meaning I am studying by myself. I am studying myself by myself. Yourself is your Atma. So that is what we encourage everybody to do. So instead of running your mind in idle thoughts, watching TV, gossiping, politics, all this, that needless hours are wasted, you take that time doing Swadhyay or create some Satsanga opportunities or whatever influence you can have in improving your life and in others' lives. Therefore, some discipline, some practice is required. So, some approach the scripture for the sake of objects of enjoyment, and that's literally true. In the Vedas, 80% of the Vedas, out of hundreds of thousands of Vedas, they will tell you how to make money, how to die and go to heaven, how to enjoy Indrahood, how to enjoy the damsels, the pretty this, the pretty that, and all the luxuries, running after different kind of sense objects, enjoyments. That is what they approach them for. When they obtain these objects, they develop faith in the scriptures. They say, now I believe it because I was poor and now I got it, so my faith is stronger. Consequently, they begin to practice various forms of spiritual disciplines. So this is compared to discovering costly woods and precious metals, gems, etc. People do it. So, in the course of time, they attain self-realization, which is the Chintamani. So originally, scriptures attract you by showing you these little joys of heaven and little luxuries of these trinklets of gold and silver and gems. But ultimately, the same scriptures, once you mature, you say all this is illusion. The same scriptures will tell you that. But what happens? In the early stages, you were not mature enough to understand. Isn't it? When you are in kindergarten, you only will want to learn A for apple, B for boy, small letters, capital letters, slowly you grow. And when you start growing, by the time you are in 12th grade, you are doing calculus. By the time you are in college, you are doing advanced mathematics. And now people have gone to the moon through those tools, Mars, this, that, isn't it? All this is knowledge and how you evolve with it. So, That is the Chintamani. Chintamani is the wish-yielding jewel that fulfills all the desires of the heart. Lord Rama's question is being answered by this beautiful parable, and that question is for you and me, not for Lord Rama. His grace has given us this opportunity to contemplate upon it. Thus, human beings are led to the scriptures for various reasons based upon their different vasanas. Vasanas, samskara, vasana, vritti, kama, karma, bhoga. It's an endless cycle that continues on and on. Samskaras are your collected actions over many lifetimes. Then out of those trillions of actions, your accumulated karmas, one of them sprouts in the form of a smell. And that smell is so subtle that it, like the little seed that is trying to come out of Mother Earth, and it is raising its head. Samskaras, vasana. So at that time it is still in the vasana state. You can only smell it. Just like you say, take a deep breath, something smells good, what's cooking? Don't you say? You haven't seen what's in the kitchen yet. You don't know, but something is telling you it's your favorite dessert or your favorite food or whatever you like, because the smell is so overpowering. That's what happens with vasana. When the vasana arises, we get our different states of mind. Garlics and onion are very different from basil leaves and healthy something different, because that smell of garlic and onions will stay in that container for at least a long time. You have to keep on washing it, scrubbing it. So that is why we say the gunas, the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. So much in the same way, we right now, every one of us is in deep sattva. Every one of us listening and enjoying the satsang are in deep sattva, because we are connected with Vashistha Muni, we are connected with Yog Vashisht, we are connected with Lord Rama. And then when the satsang is over, and then we are talking to our spouses or looking at our kids or doing this, doing that, then what happens? Rajas has taken over. Suddenly the feelings of lust, greed, anger, anxiety, they take over. So what has changed? The environment has changed. The guna has changed. From sattva we have shifted over to rajas. And then when we get angry overly, or we get dull, or we get into depression, the same guna has now digressed into tamas. So sattva, rajas, tamas, all three are in our body, different degrees, but this vasana is that initial smell that will create it. Some acquire dharma and virtue only. Some attain dharma and artha, meaning dharma is ethical virtues and also material values, material wealth. Like in the forest, some are only getting the fragrance, some are getting the jewels and the fragrance, some are getting the fruits also. So some attain dharma and artha, and there are others who acquire dharma, artha and kama, virtues, wealth and pleasures of the objects also. There are fortunate souls who attain all four ends of life. And what are those four? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Four. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma means ethical values, artha material things, kama desires, and moksha liberation. So liberation is the wish-yielding gem that secures the fulfillment of all desires. That is the Chintamani. Without it, we have simply attained a few things, but we don't have the ultimate. We don't have liberation. We will be going through these situations again and again in every embodiment. So saintly men are those who are ever devoted to the good of others. You don't think about yourself, you want to give, give, give. Some recent examples: Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. All these people, there are good and bad people in every age, in every time, in every century, even right now amongst us. So, therefore, saintly people doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be sannyasis or swamis. They can be householders living inside a busy Manhattan street, but they may be a higher saint than so many so-called today's saints with all kinds of actions that they do. So being genuine, being internal, understanding the journey is important, not necessarily the external symbols you have. People follow the examples of these men and thus begin to enter the realm of the scriptures. These are recommendations for us when we take sannyasa. We wear simple clothes, simple food, simple living. Idea is it is intentional. The focus is to take you out of the world and drop you into the zone of spirituality. If you go to fight a war but you don't have a gun, what are you going to do there? You need to be trained. You need to know what to do, how to fight the battle. All this is part of this journey. So in the beginning, they desire enjoyments, but in the course of time, they attain liberation wherein all desires are fulfilled. So people follow the examples of these men. Which men? Spiritual men, holy people, saints and sages of all religions. They are there everywhere. But there are fools also everywhere. If there is gold, real gold, there is fake gold. Fake gold is cheaper, plus it shines more. People are all attracted to it because it's so cheap, isn't it? But what value does it have? Useless. Useless. It's not going to give you anything. So, put in your effort, put in your, do seva and learn, grow, enjoy the journey. Then you are really benefiting. That's what the scriptures tell you. They will initially get you. Otherwise, in this material world, people don't have time. They don't even have time. But when you say, oh, like this, then they will understand. It's like we may have done this a few times. Swamiji also sometimes narrates this. Like when your kid is 2-year-old, and some of you may be able to relate. I know some Radhaji as a young baby. So if you tell them drink milk and they don't like milk, they say, no, I don't want it. Now, the mother knows milk is good. He's saying he doesn't want it, but he has to drink for his health and energy. So then in India, the mother says, look, if you drink this milk, then your hair will become as beautiful as mine. Really? You think so? Yeah. If you drink it, it will really help you. Okay, just a little. And when he's drinking, you say, let me tell you a little story in the meanwhile. Okay, take one sip, take one sip. Have we ever done that? Yes. Is it a lie that your hair will grow like mine? No, it's not a lie. It's nourishment for the baby, and it's done with a good heart, pure heart. You want, and if he does it, naturally all parts of his body will grow, including his hair. So use your common sense when you are guiding others, when you are doing. That's what the scriptures also do. They say, if you come to this spiritual thing, your problems will be solved, you will go to heaven and you will enjoy. Really? Yeah. And then what happens? You yourself slowly say, was I foolish going after that? That wasn't needed. But in that state of kindergarten, that is what you needed. Now that you are an adult, you are grown up, you understand how to do difficult questions, you don't need that anymore. But it's the base is that only. Without ABCs, without 1, 2, 3s, simple multiplications, you can't survive, isn't it, in this world? Much in the same way, the basics of spirituality will always be there, but as you grow, as you advance, your needs will change accordingly and you will benefit from that. So, the beauty of a woman excels all the adornments that she wears, isn't it? If the ornaments start looking prettier than you, then you have missed the point. The ornaments are supposed to glorify you. You should look like a full moon among stars. So if the ornaments are stars, you are the moon. If somebody just looks at the stars, not at the moon, that's not the goal, isn't it? So in the same manner, the knowledge of the self excels all the attainments of the world. All the attainments. So that is what this knowledge we are all trying to attain, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. And also your life, you are leading a pure, healthy, good, holistic life. So it happens with tapasya, meaning you have to put in your sincere effort day by day, and then it comes in the form of peace. You start enjoying that nectar, and inwardly you are so grounded into this process that externalities matter less and less. Practically, you need all those things. So, by reflecting upon the teachings of the scriptures, the mind is purified and the intellect becomes dispassionate towards the objects of the world. See, there is this bhajan, Mere Satguru Deen Dayal Kaag Se Hans Banate Hain. That means, the words mean of this little chant I did. My Guru, Satguru is the one who takes you towards liberation. It's not a title. I know these days everybody knows about Sadguru. We are not talking about Jaggi Vasudev ji or anybody. We are talking about a real teacher, a Satguru, and they are full of mercy and compassion. Satguru Deen Dayal, meaning their heart melts when they see suffering, and he Kaag Se Hans Banate Hain. And I will tell you, with Swami JyotirmayAnanda ji, that's what we have experienced. And many of you, I know Priya ji and Kishore ji and other people, some of you here, they had the opportunity to meet Babaji and spend precious time with him. All these enlightened sages and saints are one. They are one. But when you come, whether they speak or not, whether they teach, like Babaji was practicing Mauna. Mauna means silence. For the rest of his life, he maintained silence. So therefore, he acquired that Shakti. Some will describe and narrate like our Guruji is doing. So there are different kinds of teachers, but that enlightenment, that feature of that is ever glowing and radiant. That is the ultimate. And if you go to a sincere teacher, it cannot happen by chance. There is no such thing as luck. You have earned it. You have put in that effort over many lifetimes. And if you truly understand the importance of a guru, tears should come out of your eyes daily in gratitude of what the importance of a true teacher is. That's what we feel for our Guruji, Swamiji. You come in as a crow. You come in as a crow and you fly out as a swan. Swan is in the milky ocean, meaning all the ego, anger, all these things are shed off and you turn into something beautiful and divine, and also you attain liberation, or if not in this life, in the next few lives. Whereas you could have been going on for millions of lives with no clarity, no thought, no idea. And so many people actually do that. They live their life, the sun falls on them, they get to eat, they have good jobs, everything is there. But what's the difference? That's the difference. Faith. The desire to do something. See? So this passion, initially they are given these little your hair will become like mine examples, but once the child grows up, he understands what's good for him, and not the mother doesn't have to tell him that anymore. So the chitta or the mind stuff begins to flow inwards towards until the self is realized. Meaning, until the self is realized, the game cannot stop. The show must go on. Doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor, big or small, famous or not. All these things are simply trinklets. They are dreams to keep you involved in this world. But if your chitta, your mind stuff, which means your senses, mind, intellect and ego, once they start going within, जब ये आपके अंदर जाना शुरू हो जाए, then you are digging for those gems and script. Beautiful things will come out, but you have to know what to do, how to dig. That is what we say: meditate, realize, do bhakti, devotion. You have so many options. It's like a la carte of spirituality. So don't get bored with just one thing. You can continue to do. Therefore integral yoga, Swami Shivananda ji, JyotirmayAnanda ji, and all wise sages and saints of the 20th century, 21st century, they have all talked about the emphasis of yoga of synthesis. We call it integral yoga, which is what Yogini ji's group is also, Sanatan Dharma Integral Yoga, because it's not just about knowledge. Only knowledge is going to make you a small body with a big head, lopsided. That's not the idea. It has to be fully developed. Heart full of compassion and mercy, hands full of action and ready to serve, and a head full of wisdom of enlightenment. Then you work like a well-oiled machine and you do your duties in a holistic, lovely way. So, O Rama, by the study of this scripture, Yoga Vashistha, the sattva portion of avidya or ignorance is enhanced and its tamasic portion is destroyed. This results in the unfoldment of intuitive intellect. Here is the deep answer to Lord Rama's question, that when we are picking up these scriptures, we are increasing your sattva and removing avidya. Within avidya also there is this sattva, rajas, tamas. Even in ignorance, within ignorance also, sattva, rajas, tamas. So it will not end, but you first have to increase the light. When you see darkness everywhere, first you have to increase the light, and that is called this satsanga, scripture reading. Avidya is, that portion is enhanced, and then when sattva increases, the other two subside. Rajas and tamas subside, and when we are in the world, what happens? Rajas increases and sattva and tamas subside, and when we are tamasic, then tamas increases and rajas and sattva subside. That's the law, it's the rule. Only one set of karma can operate, guna. One guna will operate as a dominant, the other two will be subservient. Right now, we are high in sattva, low in rajas and tamas. Therefore, all sages and saints say, why wake up at 4 o'clock? High sattva, everybody is meditating, everybody is, not everybody, but all the spiritual people are meditating. And when you join that purity, and it's Brahma Mahurata, the sun is just coming out, everything, the buds are blooming, everything is in its purity, that state. So sattva, and it can be any time you create it, doesn't matter. Some people say we have night shift duties, or we don't see the morning. That's okay. You adapt and adjust according to what works for you. Idea is not to see the dawn of the morning hours. The idea is to create that feeling of dawn inside your heart. Do you see? That feeling of sattva has to be there. It doesn't matter what hour you are in. जब ऐसे होने लगेगा वो सत्वा है. And rajas is then and tamas is destroyed. The results, intuitive intellect means prajna. Prajna shakti is, it's known as intuitive intellect, and that is the one that gets you closer and closer and closer to enlightenment. So samskaras, vasana, vritti. Vritti is the sprout. Smell, no longer the smell now. You smelled your dessert. Now you have opened the lid that was being cooked. You are stirring the pot. You are taking your dessert and putting it in a plate. That is the vritti. You can physically see it. Just like you see a physical sprout. It's no longer under the surface anymore. It has erupted. And that results in samskara was kama, desire. Because you are seeing it and the smell is coming, it becomes appetizing, tempting, alluring. So now you will put it on your plate. Samskara, vasana, vritti, kama, karma. Karma is you actually eat it, put it in your stomach now. Transfer the pot into yourself, that dessert. And bhoga, if you ate too much, painful at night. If you enjoyed it, serene, nice meditation in the morning, up to you. So therefore this cycle will continue. Chakra, this is called the chakra of the wheel, the constant wheel that we all go through. That is called prajna shakti. So avidya is a blend of the three gunas, whereas sattva is dominated by rajas and tamas. We just studied that. And when sattva is enhanced, tamas is removed. Avidya turns into vidya. When you put in Hindi, you make it the opposite meaning. So when you say vidya means knowledge, avidya means ignorance. So therefore we have to turn ignorance into intuitive intellect, and it is intuitive intellect which will lead you to enlightenment. And we will finish this section in next week's satsanga. Again, my apologies because we started a little late today. So it's 9:06, but we will conclude the Aarti and continue this beautiful journey together next week. I hope you are enjoying these deep, deep satsangs, and I hope you are also enjoying this nectar inside your own hearts. Hari Om Tat Sat. Let us do Aarti together, and we will see you on Sunday morning, regular time, 10:45, and between 10:45 and 11, we start the satsang. And we will be doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 there. So let us know if there is interest in Ramayana. That is one of my favorite scriptures also, and we can pick that up at some point whenever there is enough time and energy for everybody. Okay, Hari Om. But we do need commitment, like in anything, we need commitment. And I always believe in quality over quantity. I don't want too many people. Enough people who are bringing love and bhakti, devotion, dedication, and then it's like a group study session, but a small, closely knit family study session. And then it goes out. Then the Janta Janardhan, we call it, the public, because they are not fully devoted, they don't take the time to dedicate themselves the way all of you do. So therefore the knowledge is there. It's in YouTube channels, it's in our satsangs, it's in so many places, and glory to everyone who touches it at some point. So with this we conclude our satsang. Let us do our Aarti together. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you for your support, your love, your patience. We really enjoy it together. Swamiji and I both feel very blessed, Swami Lalita Priyananda ji and I, to be part of this satsang community, to help in any small way that we can to make this world a better place. And may we all continue with faith and love. Hari Om Tat Sat. जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक श्री गणेशा। जय जय आरती सुब्रमण्या कार्तिकेया। जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला वेणुलोला पाप विदुरा नवनीत चोरा। जय जय आरती वेंकटरमणा संकट हरणा। सीतारामा राधे श्यामा। जय जय आरती गौरी मनोहर भवानी शंकर संबा सदा शिव उमा महेश्वर। जय जय आरती राजराजेश्वरी त्रिपुर सुंदरी महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाशक्ति। जय जय आरती आंजनेया हनुमंता। जय जय आरती दत्तात्रेया त्रिमूर्ति अवतारा। जय जय आरती सद्गुरुनाथा शिवानंदा। सद्गुरुनाथा ज्योतिर्मयानंदा। सद्गुरुनाथा साई बाबा। जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक। न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकं नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। ॐ न गंगा च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी नमस्तुभ्यं नमो नमः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ शान्तिः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। ॐ समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिनः। अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राण अपान समायुक्ता पचामन्यं चतुर्विधं। हरिः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मर्पणमस्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम शान्तिः Hari Om Tat Sat. Divine blessings, love, light, peace, happiness, joy, good health, and all that you desire for, but most importantly, a spiritual heart and Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. We will see you on Sunday morning from Shiva Vishnu Temple. Om Tat Sat.